This is an excellent one, to be honest with you. Wonderful. Warriors in OKC. It's a three-pointer from Steph Curry. It's very deep. 38, 8, and 12. Brew for the rare road win for your Warriors.
I told you, Nick, don't count them out.
You told me they're winning the championship.
You are sweating.
I see you sweating right now.
Championship.
Weird. Let's go to Brooklyn. Check in on Seth Curry. It's Steph's brother. Takes a shot here. Thomas Bryant says, "Get out of here." We're like, what? You're not allowed to do that. We're not in the driveway.
You are allowed to do that.
You are not allowed to do this.
If the shot has no chance of making
that
it,
had a good chance of making it.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Bad angle.
More on this game later.
Sorry.
You think I'm just putting in blocks? Weird and wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh, Frisky Magic in Philly. Mo Wagner. Oh, Embiid. Oh, Embiid. Oh, he proved to everybody he should have been the MVP. And then he get cooked up by Mo Wagner.
One of Nick's top 50 players.
No, it's the Boston media.
Mo.
That's why Mo Wagner cooked Embiid up. Magic win. So that's friend of the
just
show.
knocking Daryl Morey?
Simmons came out and said Simmons, Russillo, and Mannix all voted for Embiid. I like stats, and so should he. And the Sloan Conference is in Boston. Moving on. Back to Brooklyn. Russ gives this a shot. I mean, it was an idea. I actually thought it was kind of mean because Kyrie was nice pregame. He said, "Oh, greatness is out here early." And Russ is like, "You're right. Let me try to throw the ball through your legs." An hour later.
Didn't quite work.
17, 8, and 10 for Russ. Also moved to 10th all-time in assists. And finally, the wonderful Sacramento in Minnesota. Knicks guy, Rudy Gobert, gets dunked on.
Don't say.
Sacramento wins.
Not my guy.
You
That's
said
a bad, weird, and wonderful.
They
You lie
have been
about me
playing
and
some
you
good
spend
ball,
time
too.
promoting your
Minnesota
friend's
have been playing
podcast.
some good
Who's
ball.
my friend's podcast?
Bill Simmons.
You know what? It's a good podcast. Doesn't solve any crimes. New little tidbit on last year's dysfunction in New England from Albert Breer. Belichick was active on the headsets, plural, on game day, having the sort of oversight over the offense that he traditionally have over the defense, and moonlighting as a play caller at points. That's nice. Which is why at times calls were late going in and the offense could look messy from an operational standpoint. It was not Mac Jones's fault. That was mine. I added that. This is all now fixed, Coach, so don't worry since Bill O'Brien is now in New England. But how much blame does Belichick deserve?
I love the quote that he had the type of oversight on the offense that he traditionally has on the defense. Well, what did everybody think was happening every other year? That Bill had no oversight on the offense?
Yeah, Josh was running it.
Yeah, I mean, he's the type of guy that doesn't like to get involved with anything.
Like,
you know,
hands
the
off.
draft, free agency, offense, defense, special teams, he's completely hands off.
Can I ask a serious question, though? When Josh was there, do you think Belichick was hopping on the headset and overruling play calls? Or that?
I think if Bill wanted to see something, he was going to see something. If Bill wanted a certain pass play, he was going to get that pass play. If Bill wanted certain plays to be in the offense, they were going to be in the offense. That's just the way it is, and that's the way it is as a head coach. You whatever you want to see, you have the right to see. And if the other guys don't like it, then they can go get their own head coaching job. That's just the way it works. Now, but to get to the whole idea of dysfunction, yeah, Bill is responsible because he is the ultimate decision maker, and he tried something unconventional, and it didn't work out perfectly by any stretch. But it worked out better than a lot of other teams that had traditional offensive coordinators. So there's that. And then remember Mac Jones, your boy, who said it doesn't matter who the offensive coordinator is. He didn't even acknowledge the loss of Josh McDaniels, Mick Lombardi, 3/4 of the offensive staff. He's had offensive coordinators. He's had multiple offensive. He's going to be fine, right? Well, guess what? It does matter to have some of that experience, and you weren't fine.
So what do you want him to say? Woe is me. I got a defensive coordinator.
How about appreciating the people that were there? How about appreciating the situation that he walked into, as opposed to saying, "Yeah, it was me. It was me."
Yeah.
You can say it in a way. You can say it in a way that's respectful of the people leaving. Is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Because you can, you can feel confident in. Look, I loved what Josh did. I'm going to miss him, but hey, I have faith in these guys, and I think we'll be fine. Like you can say it without it coming off as smug and disrespectful. But look, most of this has to fall on Belichick. Look, for the defense, you got to give him credit. They were able to have a decent year because of him and the defense.
Great year.
But he ultimately is the one that hired Patricia and Judge with as bad. Look, Patricia and I don't even have to go into how unqualified they were to run an offense okay? But to do it with a second-year quarterback who needed to grow, I just think you stunted his growth for a season. He's not ruined, but for a season he was ruined.
So can I show you a different quote from that article, Wilds?
Sure.
Because to me, this was the more galling quote. We can put it up on the screen about why Bill O'Brien was not there initially. It's certainly fair to ask why he didn't just go get O'Brien last year. I'm told the reason he didn't pursue it was out of fear that O'Brien might do well enough in a year to land a head coaching job elsewhere, leaving the Patriots replace a coordinator 2 years in a row. So, Wilds, I got a question. You remember 8 years ago when I walked into your office in New York City, tried to get you to put me on television, and you kind of laughed at me and kicked me out?
That wasn't my role.
Was that because you got a feeling in that meeting, you're like, this guy's so good, he's going to leave my show in a year, and I'm only going to be able to have this talent? Or was it because you thought it was the wrong idea? Because that is the most ludicrous reasoning for not hiring someone. It's going to work out so well that I don't want to get married because I might one day get divorced.
What makes you think that quote is valid?
Right. It's so ludicrous, I don't believe it. I hate the question of
Okay, well then,
I am told by who? I am told by who?
Well, hold on.
By Bill?
Here's the reason. No.
Who told me?
Coach hates anonymous sources.
I was told by my psychic that.
Okay, but hold on.
might get a-
Here's the thing, Coach. So the reason that I would think that might be valid, not just because it's being reported, is because why didn't he just hire Bill O'Brien?
It was loyalty to Saban.
So that's the other thing?
I need B.O.B. here one more year.
Okay, well then.
Okay, we'll get you next year when we have all the cap
All right,
space.
well
All good.
then to answer the question, Wilds, then it does circle back to Belichick. Because if Belichick, with respect to the 6 rings and 8 if you include the Giants and all of it, if the ego has gotten to a place where he's like, after getting waxed in the playoffs in year one of his quarterback, he's like, well, do I need to do the very best things possible for this team this year, or can I scotch tape it with guys who used to work for me and my kids, and that'll be fine? If that's where we're at, that's a problem.
I just don't know of any time where Bill was ever like, I'm going to do the worst thing I can do for the team. Every decision that the guy makes, and you may agree with him or disagree with him, and look, he and I have had a few disagreements, but they're always done for the best interest of the team. And he makes a lot of hard decisions that other people won't make in the best interest of the team.
But don't you think this just smacked of arrogance, though?
Yes.
Like, I know more than everybody else. And granted, he's got the 6 rings. He's the GOAT and all that. But still, this was a terrible decision to go get Patricia.
I mean, you just surround yourself with your friends and relatives and put them in positions of power. It's how the Ottoman Empire fell, guys. That's a true story. No one cares. Yes, it is. No one really. It's a true story.
Watch our ratings. Right? Wow, ratings spike.
Yeah,
I loved when Nick talked about the Ottoman Empire. That's what I'm looking for in a sports show.
Let me look that up.